Business cards? Yours haven't come in yet. I had this coworker named Brad who was literally the worst person I've ever worked with. We both worked at this cell phone store and the guy was a complete nightmare. First of all, he smelled like he hadn't showered in weeks, like a mix of old socks and onions. Customers would literally wrinkle their noses when he walked by. But the worst part was how he'd steal my sales. I'm not talking about subtle stuff. This guy would literally step in between me and my customer while I'm talking to them, like I'd be showing someone a phone and explaining the features, and Brad would just walk up and go, "Actually, let me show you this better model over here." Then he'd physically guide them away from me. Or I'd be at the register ringing someone up and he'd somehow squeeze himself next to me and start talking to my customer about accessories they should add on. It was so awkward and embarrassing. The thing is, Brad was terrible at his job. He didn't know anything about the phones. He couldn't explain plans properly. The only way he made any sales was by stealing them from the rest of us. So here's how our store worked back then. This was like 2010, before cloud storage was really a thing. When people traded in their old phones, they had to transfer all their photos and contacts to their new one. We had this machine that was supposed to do it automatically, but it was total garbage. It would miss half their pictures or delete their contacts completely. So most customers had to take their old phone home, back everything up to their computer, then come back the next day to finish buying their new phone. Management made this rule that whoever's business card the customer brought back got the sale. Made sense, right? You help them, you get the commission when they return. When I started working there, I immediately asked them to order business cards for me. Super important in a commission job, but Brad never bothered asking for cards. Instead, this genius would take our cards and cross out our names with a pen, then write his name over it. But our cards were glossy, so pen didn't stick well. When customers came back, his scratched out name was basically impossible to read, so we just used the original person's sales code instead. Everyone at the store hated Brad, so we all did this. It was like silent teamwork to stop him from stealing our commissions. This went on for months. Brad kept losing return sales and getting more and more frustrated. He'd complain to the manager about customers not coming back to him specifically. One day I was in our back room grabbing more of my business cards from the supply shelf. Brad sees me and goes, "Hey, can you grab me some of yours too? I don't have any cards yet." I climbed up to get them, and that's when I saw something amazing. There was a whole box of business cards with Brad's name on it, just sitting there on the shelf. They'd been ordered months ago and nobody told him. I looked at that box for like 5 seconds. Then I moved it to the very back of the shelf where nobody would see it and grabbed my cards. "Sure thing, Brad. Here you go." I handed him one of my cards with this big innocent smile. Months went by. Brad kept using our scratched out cards and losing every single return sale. He was making basically no commission and getting more desperate every day. Finally, he went to our manager and demanded to know why his business cards still hadn't arrived. It had been like 6 months since he started. Our manager looked confused and walked back to the supply room with Brad following behind him. I happened to be organizing inventory back there when they showed up. Our manager climbed up and immediately spotted Brad's box of cards that I'd hidden. "Here they are," he said, pulling down the box. "These came in months ago. Why didn't you grab them?" Brad's face went completely red. He looked at the box, then at me, then back at the box. I just kept counting phone cases like nothing was happening, but inside, I was dying laughing. Turns out Brad had lost thousands of dollars in commission over those months, all because he was too lazy to check the supply room himself. After that, he finally had proper business cards. But by then, word had gotten around about what a terrible employee he was, and he got fired like 2 weeks later.